Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving deep into one of the most important, but maybe one of the most overlooked minerals in our entire body. All right, I want to kick things off with a quick question for you. Just think about it for a second. What one single mineral is a major player in literally hundreds of processes that are keeping you going every single day? It's not calcium, it's not iron. Any ideas?
And the answer is magnesium. We're calling it the unsung hero for a reason. It doesn't always grab the headlines like other nutrients, but your body absolutely cannot function without it. It's a true workhorse, quietly doing its job behind the scenes.
So let's get to know this hero a little bit better. What exactly is its job description? Well, turns out it's a pretty long one. Get this, the headline number you need to remember is over 300. Magnesium acts as a little helper molecule, a cofactor for more than 300 different enzyme systems in your body. You can think of it like the key that turns the ignition for hundreds of absolutely critical chemical reactions.
And what do those reactions do? Well, pretty much everything. We're talking about regulating the electricity that fires your nerves and makes your muscles contract. We're talking about keeping your immune system strong and your heart beating at a steady rhythm. It even helps build your proteins and bones and plays a huge role in protecting your very DNA. It's just incredibly versatile.
I love this analogy of magnesium as an electrical conductor. It just makes so much sense. Every single time your heart beats, every time you flex a muscle, magnesium is right there, conducting the electrical spark that makes it all happen.
And your body knows just how crucial this mineral is. That's why it's so smart about it, keeping this massive strategic reserve on hand. More than half of all the magnesium in your body is stored away right in your skeleton, ready to be called into action whenever it's needed.
So, what happens when our hero doesn't show up for work? What are the consequences when those magnesium levels start to dip too low?
The official clinical term is hypomagnesemia. It's a big word, but it just means you have a lower than normal level of magnesium in your blood. And this can be anything from a really mild, almost unnoticeable issue, all the way to a severe, life-threatening condition.
Now check this out. While a deficiency is pretty rare in the general healthy population, only about 2%, look at how these numbers just explode when people get sick. Somewhere between 10 and 20% of all hospitalized patients have it, and for those in the ICU, a staggering 50 to 60%. That shows you there's a really powerful connection between your magnesium levels and your overall health. And the symptoms can be really deceptive at first. A mild deficiency might show up as things we all feel from time to time: fatigue, weakness, maybe some muscle cramps, stuff you might just brush off. But if it gets more severe, the consequences are incredibly serious. We're talking seizures, delirium, and even life-threatening heart rhythm problems. Now, certain groups of people really need to pay closer attention to this. This includes older adults, because their bodies sometimes don't absorb nutrients as well, also people with type 2 diabetes, and anyone with gut issues like Crohn's or celiac disease. And even some really common medications can actually deplete your body's magnesium stores over time.
So, that's the problem. But what's the solution? How do we make sure our bodies have enough of this absolutely essential mineral? How do we restore that balance?
Well, let's start with the official targets. For most adult men, the goal is about 400 to 420 milligrams a day. For women, it's a little less, around 310 to 320. But here's the really concerning part. Big national surveys have shown that most people in Western countries just aren't hitting these numbers on a regular basis.
But the good news is, it's not that hard to find. Magnesium is in so many delicious, healthy foods. Think nuts and seeds like almonds and pumpkin seeds, dark leafy greens like spinach, legumes like black beans, and get this, high-quality dark chocolate is also a great source.
Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Magnesium isn't a solo act, it's a critical team player. For example, your body can't even use vitamin D properly without enough magnesium. It's literally the key that unlocks vitamin D, turning it into a form that your body can actually put to work.
And why does that matter so much? Because that active vitamin D is what allows your body to absorb calcium. So you can see this amazing chain reaction, right? No magnesium means no active vitamin D, and that means no proper calcium absorption. That's why magnesium is just fundamental for strong, healthy bones over the long haul. And if someone is diagnosed with a deficiency, the treatment is usually pretty straightforward. For mild cases, a doctor will often just recommend oral supplements. For the really severe stuff, treatment might move to a hospital for IV magnesium. But, and this is key, it's not just about adding more magnesium, it's about figuring out the root cause and treating that as well.
Okay, let's bring this all home. why should this one mineral really be on your radar? It's not just about avoiding a few muscle cramps. It goes so much deeper than that. It really comes down to this: protecting the very blueprint of you. See, magnesium is essential for the enzymes that repair your DNA. When it's not around, that whole repair process slows down. This leaves your cells way more vulnerable to damage from things like oxidative stress, and that can compromise the stability of your entire genome over your lifetime.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. After seeing everything it does, from keeping your heart beating steadily to literally protecting your DNA, is this unsung hero playing a big enough role in your health? It might just be time to give magnesium the spotlight it really deserves.